Hey, welcome back to the Earn by Experience podcast, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Ben. So, I've kind of taken a little bit of a break from the podcast, which some of you guys have noticed probably. I've just been busy, and I'm firing it back up. So, I'm super stoked to be back in here. This episode's just a quick update of where I'm at with what I'm doing. Let's see here. I've been super busy. I've been working on a Jeep truck that I've just been hammering on. It's had a ton of issues and it's been really kicking my butt. So that's been the majority of where my time has been when I'm not being dad and whatnot. So this isn't me on here crying at all. It's just I'm just super busy, and I love the podcast so much. And actually, one of the things that fired it back up was I was on YouTube looking for something, and I went on here and I listened back to like 5 minutes of our attack recap, and it was Wes telling the story about almost shooting Dallas, and I was like, man, the production is actually really good. I know I'm biased, but like it has a really good look on online, and it fired me back up to where I was like, I can't let this thing die out. So I wanted to just put the gas back down to the floor and get back in here and come on here and just tell everyone that the podcast is live and well. I plan to fire it back up. I got some cool guests lined up. It's whether or not scheduling is difficult. That's actually another thing. It's like I'm busy, right? But I was making time for the podcast before. It gets discouraging a little bit when my reach is only so far to these guests that I'm getting on here. So that's another thing. One, it's kind of difficult to get interesting guests within my capabilities or my network. And then two, scheduling sometimes is just difficult. So it's a delicate balance. So I do my best, and I'm trying to put out one a week. It's just difficult. So if it's 1 or 2 weeks, I'll be okay with that going forward. I'm gonna try to do every week again, but it's just that's the thing. I'm not like a big name person where I have a big network. So for people to come on here and be interesting, not to everyone's interesting, honestly, in my opinion, but knowing who to ask and what avenues and to keep it interesting, because nobody wants to just listen to a bunch of rambling, which this probably won't get a whole bunch of views. But my point is it's difficult. The whole process. Podcasting is definitely harder than just any other avenue of media outlet. So the goal is to come in here and meet people and talk about interesting stuff. So I don't know. In the grand scheme, I'm the big winner of all of it. I've said that since day one. I get to meet these people and hang out and learn and ask questions and stuff, but it's difficult too. It's a delicate balance. So my goal going forward is to have a decent lineup of people, and then I'm hoping to get more people to get me in contact with people that are interesting or just want to come on here and hang out and talk, crabbing or fishing or whatever it is. So it's just interesting stuff to me. So I got some cool things in the works. What have I been up to? So the majority of my time has been spent working on my Jeep truck, which I'll go into that for a second. I know most of the people that are close to me are tired of hearing about it, but I'm building a Wrangler, and I cut it in half and I made it into a truck. It's been a Jeep I've had for years and years and years. I've actually had it since high school, and I was trying to sell it for a while just because I needed space and it was just sitting there. And then I decided, well, I'm going to turn it into a truck. So I cut it in half, and I did this whole rear suspension, and it's been a pretty cool project. And it's down to being a driver, and the transmission that I had built for it has been a disaster. I was fortunate enough to have Kicker audio equipment come on board. They wanted to outfit the truck and put it into their Jeep show. It's coming up here. Let's see, I think today's the 12th. So, no, today's the 10th. So, the show's coming up at the end of the month, and I just got the audio equipment installed and functioning, and it sounds ridiculous. I'm totally mind blown at how this thing sounds. So I'm on track now, but the transmission really put me behind as far as the whole project. I had a bunch of other things I needed to do. That's what I've been doing. The majority of my time is getting that thing right. I've had the transmission in and out of that thing probably 3 times myself. The builder took it back out once, put it back in. So it's a driver. It's not perfect. I have a used one I'm going to put in it. So that's been the majority of what I've been focusing on. Other than being a dad and fishing and taking care of, family obligations too, because that's the other delicate balance of being busy, is being busy in the right areas and not giving not people. I got to give the certain hobbies of my life the right amount of attention and not overtake my family obligations. So I've been fishing a lot and taking my boy. We've been doing all kinds of exciting outdoors activities, and we work hard too. We work hard, we play hard. So my wife actually was riding her horse 2 weeks ago, and her horse was coming up over this bank. And I actually can put the video in here. It's pretty wild. The horse, his foot tripped coming up this grassy bank, and when he tripped, he couldn't catch himself, so he actually tumbled a full 360 and kind of threw her off. And actually, she fell and broke her collarbone and had to have surgery and all that stuff. So that's been another complication. That's only been 2 weeks ago, so we're making out all right. But it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, I'm optimistic. I'm not disappointed at all. I'm totally happy with my life, that everything is happening for a reason. No disappointment. And this was not my point to come on here and cry. I just wanted to catch everyone up to like just a real guy doing real stuff. So that's where I'm at currently with life situation and what I've been up to. Let's see. I went offshore with a friend of mine a couple weeks ago. This has been about a month ago, and we hooked into. I actually reeled it in. It was a 150-pound tuna, so that was fun. I can actually add a picture of that too. It's super super fun. There was a cool video. I'll try to add it all in the editing. That was a cool experience. A buddy of mine that I actually met through the shop, he's actually going to be the next guest too. We recorded a couple months ago, and I'm just now got it produced and whatnot. So anyhow, that was fun. Super interesting guy. His family's awesome. Love the guy. He's become a close friend, and I hope a forever friend, honestly. So totally happy. Let's see what else. Jeep truck. Oh, one of the other complications of the podcast was my computer was old and not very fast at doing any editing or any of the production side of this thing. So if anybody's interested, I can explain how you do a podcast, but I'm also the producer and the everything guy. So my computer was pretty much maxed out on the programs that I was using. I use a 3D modeling program called Fusion 360, and I guess it's a big program, and it was probably taking up the majority of the CPU data, I guess, on this computer. So I upgraded my computer, so that's another upside to this, is I finally bit the bullet. It took me probably 3 months to decide which computer I wanted between GPU and CPU and cards and NVIDIA and Ryzen and all this other stuff I was comparing. So that's kind of cool. I settled on a nice computer. It's pretty decent for the money. So it's back up and fired up. So that's another plus side to this, is now I can do these productions faster, and it doesn't take as long to export these videos, because sometimes an hour and 20-minute video just takes a while to export. So it seems to be about every minute of the podcast is about 2 minutes of editing, is what it seems like. So if it's an hour and a half, I probably sat there almost 2.5 hours or 3 hours editing the thing. So no complaints, just explaining that there's a lot of like little things that go into making a podcast. So that's where I'm at currently. Super pumped. I'm going to just hammer down on the podcast and really focus on trying to get good guests in here. So stay tuned. I got some cool people lined up. Going to be back and forth on the scheduling side of things. I hope to just hammer things down. So bear with me. I'm pumped. Everyone, I know it doesn't get a ton of views, but it means a lot to the people that do watch it. So I hope to bring you some interesting guests. The White Marlin Open just wrapped up, so that'd be kind of cool if I can intertwine some people that had fished it. So that's cool. And then that's kind of where I'm at. So thanks for everyone's patience and listening and watching the podcast up to this point. I just hope to keep pushing forward and give you guys good content and interesting things. So stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next one.